Alright, so before I start, I just want to make sure that I let you guys know that this video is going to be all over the place. I don't have a real script. I'm just going to talk purely based on memory and my recollection of the game and how I feel about it. So I ain't got no script right now. I'm just gonna ramble. So with that out the way, let's actually start. Andrew Wiggins, what are you doing? What are you doing? Look, I watched the whole game last night, and up until the first quarter, I actually had some hope. You know, like Shaw was down 15 or something like that, and we weren't making open shots, but I felt like, alright, look, you know, as time goes on, as the game goes on, we might start hitting our shots. You know, Curry might start making threes, Wiggins gonna hit his open shots, Oubre's gonna get some touches. I was wrong. They didn't make shit. They played like they didn't want to be out there. I mean, like, what happened, man? These ain't the Warriors. What is this? Alright, so okay, let's get a bit of structure, right? So the first thing I want to say is the Warriors, they need to figure this shit out. Because I mean, coming into this season, we all knew that the Warriors weren't going to be a super team no more. We all knew that the Warriors, they're not real contenders. Like many people think that they're gonna get a playoff spot, but it's not going to be a higher seed, right? So if the Warriors don't figure their shit out, and the other teams in the West come out the gate swinging, then we might have a scenario where the Warriors are in the play-in games. And if I'm honest, I don't want the Warriors to be in the play-in games, because I don't know if they're actually going to be able to get shit done. And I'm not one of these people that says, oh, Curry has to carry this team to the playoffs because his legacy's on the line, because I mean, to me that's just bullshit. But I still think that, you know, they can make the playoffs and they should make the playoffs. And with the way things are going, like, it's only one game, right? But with the way things are going, it's going to be a rough season. It's going to be a rough season. I mean, the depth of this Warriors team is lacking. You know, I previously made a video where I said that the depth isn't honestly as bad, but I thought that, you know, they were going to get more pieces during the off season, and I thought that they had Klay, and Klay being gone is really bad, because obviously it's Klay Thompson, and many people think that Klay being gone is just a 20 point per game 3-and-D player gone, but Klay Thompson also has gravity that's pretty much underrated. Like, we always talk about Steph and his off-ball impact and stuff, but one of the biggest reasons why Steph Curry's off-ball impact is as huge as it is because of Klay Thompson. Because just like Curry, you can't leave Klay open anywhere on the court, because that guy is going to pull up and he's going to make the shot, right? So when Curry's running around, you obviously have to chase him, but you also have to make sure that you know where Klay Thompson is. You have to know where Klay Thompson is on the court, otherwise he's going to burn you. But now with Klay not on the court anymore, you have one less sharpshooter you have to worry about. Now you only have Curry. And when the guys around Curry aren't knockdown shooters, then the defense job is a whole lot easier, because you only have to worry about one guy that's going to torch you, because Wiggins apparently isn't hitting the shots, neither is Kelly Oubre, James Wiseman isn't a shooter, Eric Pascal isn't a great 3-point shooter. He's okay in the mid-range, like he's really solid in the mid-range, but he's not a 3-point shooter. And Draymond Green, we all know the story of him, right? And he wasn't even playing yesterday. So if you just look at the Warriors team, they don't have any great shooters. They don't have any great shooters. Like, when Kelly Oubre wants to, he can hit his shots, but he's not like, he isn't a guy where you say, yeah, that guy, we have to lock him up the minute he crosses half court. No, he's not that guy, right? And so coming back to the game yesterday, like, what I saw last night showed me that, one, the Warriors have changed, and two, the Warriors need to make some adjustments, because the bench is, like I said, lackluster. They don't have any bench. I mean, when Juan Toscano is getting, meaningful minutes, your bench is lacking. And yeah, sure, Draymond Green wasn't in the game yesterday, but that's still Juan Toscano getting minutes, right? And just in general, the feeling that I got from the Warriors last night, it wasn't really great. There was just, Curry was a bit disappointing. Yeah, he was trying to shake some rust off, but it was a bit lackluster. And I know that he's going to, get better as the season continues. But, with the past seasons we've seen of Andrew Wiggins, is it going to get much better? Because, okay, obviously he wasn't great last night. It was a bit sad. But is it going to get much better? Because it is going to get better. But the question is it going to get much better? Because if the Warriors really want to make a run this season, they need Wiggins to actually be good. They need Wiggins to be borderline great, along with Kelly Oubre and Eric Pascal and James Wiseman. Because Klay Thompson's role isn't just 20 points per game and defense. It's the impact, it's the gravity, it's everything that comes with being Klay. And Draymond, I think, is going to have a much better season than last year, but I don't think he can make up for the defensive, for the lack of defense this team has. Because this team isn't a lockdown team, they're not great. And Draymond's going to have to, turn back the clock to 2016, 2017 when he won the Defensive Player of the Year award. Because that was when Draymond Green was at his peak defensively. And he needs to play like that again if the Warriors want to be, okay on defense. Because right now they're not really great. They're not really great. And I think this is going to be a season where Curry's going to have to do a lot more than he's been used to for the last 5 years. He's going to have to go out there and basically average 30. He's going to go out there and have to shoot his shots and hopefully make them. Because Curry's a rather efficient guy. He's one of the most efficient players this game has ever seen, especially for a point guard or for a guard in general. So yeah, he's going to have to be efficient as always, and he's going to have to score a lot to make up for what they've lost and KD and the bench. Because that bench is not great. That bench is not great, really. It's not great. And I think Oubre is going to get better. Like, he's going to find his rhythm and stuff. But the longer the Warriors need to adjust to this new team, the more the likelihood of them being in the playoff or in playing games is going to rise. Because like I said, the other teams might come swinging out the gates, like you saw with the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets, they played solid basketball last night. Like, their ball movement was just spectacular. And KD and Kyrie, that duo they're just buckets, man. They're just straight up buckets. Like, KD looks like he's back to his former self. Maybe not as athletic, but he was pulling up from three, from mid-range, doing his his fadeaways and taking them shots, and he looked great along with Kyrie Irving. Like, that guy, wow. The Brooklyn Nets are the real deal, it looks like. And sure, when I think they're gonna be a team, like, when they have an off night, they have an off night, but when they're clicking, they're clicking. And I think the Warriors can be like that as well. Like, when they're clicking, they're clicking. Because Kelly Oubre, Andrew Wiggins, both athletic wings. They can play solid defense. They can make their shots when they make their shots. But when they're off, they're off. Really, when they're off, they're off. It's not like this solid team where you know what you're going to get on a regular basis. They have a low minimum, but a very high maximum. But to bring this back to the Brooklyn Nets, though, I think they're going to be a top 2 seed. They look really solid, honestly. They look really, really, really solid. And, the Lakers obviously lost last night because Paul George decided to, screw all them haters and show them what he's made of. And he did. Paul George balled out last night. Can't give him any slack apart from maybe that one pass to the ref. But hey, all of these players make mistakes out there. But yeah, Paul George was great. And the Warriors need to figure their shit out, man, because they can't afford to, take much time in adjusting to this new team, because I think the other teams, they know how stacked the West is this year, and they're prepared to come out the gate swinging day one. You got teams like the Jazz, who just signed Rudy Gobert, and I don't think they want to miss the playoffs right after extending Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, to a lot of money actually, because that wouldn't be a good look. And then you've got teams like the Nuggets who want to pick up where they left off. You've got the Portland Trailblazers, who might be a sneaky team. And honestly, Portland Trailblazers, that team looks better on paper than the Golden State Warriors. This might be a hot take, but I don't care, I'm putting it out there. And I'm sure they want to, be better than an 8 seed. Then you've got, these lower teams like the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, the Kings, the Suns. They want to get in the playoffs this year, because they just got CP3, and Devin Booker apparently isn't playing around no more. So they're going to be in the playoff picture, and the West is going to be stacked in general. Like, there's only like 2 teams where I think you can surely say they're not making the playoffs, and that's the OKC Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. But apart from that, the other 13 teams, they're all going to be in the playoff picture, right? So the Warriors and teams that want to make the playoffs, they need to come out the gate swinging from the first minute going on, because the other teams, they're not going to be playing around. They're not going to be messing around, because they know that this year is a rough year, and if they have any playoff aspirations, they need to be there from the get-go. So again, I think that the Warriors, they need to pull it together. Curry has to be a bit more aggressive, because yesterday I always thought to myself, come on Curry, take over the game. But I think they're just trying to get used to playing with each other for the first 3-4 games, and then once they figured out their rhythm, they can they'll get going. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. I don't want to overreact and call the Warriors trash, because I don't think they are trash. They have potential, like they can be like a 5 or 4 seed. But yeah, they need to get their act together. Wiggins, you need to hit your shots, man. Come on, Wiggins. Kelly Oubre he had that crazy putback. Bro, Wiggins, Andrew. What am I saying? Kelly Oubre had that crazy putback. Kelly Oubre. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Just rambling about the Warriors and basketball opening night in general. So yeah, be on the lookout for an upcoming video. This was MCG. Peace out.